In case you haven't noticed, it's winter and it's cold. And up here it's really cold, and I live in an old uninsulated summer cabin that's 80 years of age, and it does not do a real good job of keeping the heat in and the cold out. However, over the years I have found strategies to make sure the house is comfortable, that I'm comfortable, and that my power bills are somewhat manageable. I'm in an all-electric house here, so I pay electric bills. And I don't think it really matters what fuel you use for warming your home. There's always going to be associated cost to that. So my costs are electrical. So here's what I do. First of all, I dress appropriately. Right now I'm wearing a light sweatshirt, a wool sweater, sweatpants, warm socks, and slippers. I find if my body is appropriately covered for the season, that's already half the battle. And I have a good store of clothing to wear both at the house and outside that is warm and comfortable and really helps take the chill off. I'm continually adding and replacing over the years, and this year I decided to invest in socks, nice warm socks around the house. So I got this pair for women, Mucklucks, at the grocery store. There were two of them, wool blend, $6.99 for two. They're nice and thick. And I also got the same sort of thing for men, heat socks. I don't think that they are wool, but they say they're thermal, mossy oak. And this was two pairs too, and they were $5.99 at Grocery Outlet. I find the best time to get warm clothes is before Christmas. And if you're going thrift shopping this summer when it's hot, it's a great time to get clothes, because by the time winter rolls around, everything is pulled off the shelves, and after Christmas, it seems like they don't restock winter items anymore. So I do a fair amount of winter clothes shopping, either new or used, in the months preceding Christmas. The way the house is set up and the way my lifestyle is set up, I really only need to heat one room, and that is the living room. It's the biggest room in the house. It's not that big, but it's big enough. I have a little sofa here. I have a table here with chairs. I have a second chair, this one I'm sitting in. There's room for what I need. The TV's here. And I keep this room kind of sealed off from the rest of the house by either doors or hanging insulated curtains. There is a door between this room and the bedroom, and then I've hung insulated curtains between this room and the kitchen, and between the kitchen and the laundry room. I noticed before I did that there was a lot of cold air coming from both those areas, and of course they interfered with heating the room. They kept things cold, and then you end up heating the whole house even if you're not using it. I have tension rods up for both curtains for the living room to kitchen and kitchen to laundry room, and I just hang the insulated curtains up at the beginning of the winter each year and take them down when the weather's good again. I also have insulated curtains on my windows, not all of my windows, but like the 2-bedroom windows and this window. I have insulated curtains behind me, but I have a better set of insulated curtains right here. Somebody gave me some insulated curtains which fit the big window here in the living room. And between the insulated curtains, and I have this nice big love seat a friend of mine gave me, that really has helped a lot with keeping the room warmer and better at retaining heat. Before I did that, I had cheaper curtains there, and there was nothing, no sofa or anything there, and it just was more exposure to cold. I've really noticed a difference since the sofa went in and the better quality curtains went in. My floor is carpeted. It is not wall-to-wall carpeting. It is like rugs, wall-to-wall rugs from all sorts of places. What happened when I moved in here was that there was carpeting on the floor and it needed to go. There had been animals here before and it just needed to go. So we tore up the carpeting, and all that was underneath it was a subfloor. The subfloor was in excellent condition, but there was gaps in between the boards, and of course it was freezing. So I went to one of our local flooring stores, and they have a discount room with leftovers and ends and stuff like that. And I got a bunch of padding, put all the padding down in this room and in the bedroom where the carpeting had been, and then I just started laying rugs on top of that. And that also has made a huge difference. It doesn't look that great, and it's hard to keep clean, especially the areas between the rugs that don't butt up against each other sufficiently. but it's helped immensely to keep this room warm. I used to feel air coming up. That was not good. My bedroom is a little bit of a problem in the winter. It is at the end of the house. It is exposed on 2.5 sides, and it seems like most of the cold weather comes from this side, which is the exposed side for both the living room and the bedroom. So I don't sleep in there all the time. I sleep in there most of the time. If I know that the nighttime temperatures are going to drop into the 30s and the 20s, I don't sleep in there. It's just too cold. I have insulated curtains there, and I have plenty of blankets, but the room is just not comfortable. So in years past, I've slept in the second bedroom, a little tiny bedroom off the kitchen, which I was able to heat along with the kitchen. That worked out fine. This time I'm just pulling out a pad, I'm pulling out some blankets, and on those really cold nights, I sleep here in the living room because I figure I've already heated the room, it's already warm, why do I need to go back to that ice box? I have noticed one thing, the bedroom back there, there were really only 2 orientations for the bed. One was with the head of the bed under the window, and the other is the head of the bed against the common wall between the bedroom and the living room. And I've had them both ways. Having the bed underneath the window was way colder than having the head of the bed at the common wall. You could feel the difference, even though the bed is only 18 inches away from that wall with the window right now. It is still way more comfortable to sleep that orientation instead of the head under the window. The bedroom is small, it has a closet, it has built-in bookshelf, it has 2 doors, one to the living room, one to the outdoors. So there's really no other place to put the bed. Right now, my heating sources, I have 2 main heating sources. One is a radiant heater, a small radiant heater, and the other are 2 radiators. I also have this fun electric heater that when you turn it on, it looks like a fireplace, and it blows the heat out with the fan, and that's kind of fun to use because I don't have a fireplace here or anything like that. So I use that sometimes for special occasions. It does use, I think, a little bit more energy than the other 2, but that's okay. So I use this radiant heater. It's usually right here at my feet. I put it on low, and if I'm the only one in the house and it's by my feet, then it's fine. I'm warm, I'm cozy. It heats the rest of the room, but I can keep it on low because it's right by me. The radiator, I've got 1 radiator in here and 1 in the laundry room. So if I know someone's coming over, or if the whole house needs to be warmed in like the night before or even that morning, I will plug in the radiator in here, and I'll plug in the radiator at the back of the house, and pretty soon the whole house is at a manageable temperature. But that's really only when I'm having guests. When I'm by myself, I don't do that. Sometimes I'll have the radiator on, but usually I'll just have this little radiant heater right here at my feet. Of course, I also find that keeping busy helps. I do exercise here, I do yoga, which is helpful. I try to keep busy. I try to have at least 1 project a day where I'm moving things around or putting things away or doing something. I cook all my own food, so I've got the crock pot going. Sometimes I have the oven going or the stovetop going, and that helps warm the house up too. And of course, having warm food does make you feel better. I am totally aware, however, of peak hours, and those are the hours of maximum use according to the power company, and those hours are something between 5 and 11 or 5 and 9 or so. I'm not sure. I think maybe it varies from place to place. So I try not to do too much energy use at that point. And the only major energy use I do usually is the washing machine and dryer, and those are Energy Star. So I'll do that in the morning. And to be quite frank, it's actually very nice to do that because the dryer blows out a lot of warm air, and that warms up the laundry room and the kitchen. So when it's its most cold, which is in the morning. So far my electric bills have been manageable. I just got a bill and I'm a little below what I paid last year at the same time, but of course I was away from the house for about 4 or 5 days, which probably had some bearing on that. And even my upcoming bill, though, where I've been here the whole time, has also been reasonable. And reasonable depends from person to person, but for me and for my usage and my history, I find that the bills are reasonable. So it's kind of a happy medium between being comfortable and also not using a ton of energy and a ton of resources to pay for that energy. and I think I've gotten to the point where I manage it pretty well. Winter here is beautiful. I love the season. It's definitely a time of hibernation up here, more so than maybe in a more urban area, because it is so dark, it is so cold, it is so quiet, but I savor it. And whatever happens here in the winter with energy use or with anything else, that's what I signed up for, to live here. So I do know what the weak points in the house are, and now that the cabin is pretty much done, I can start working on this house, replacing windows, replacing siding, maybe putting flooring down, conventional flooring, and slowly building this house up to be a comfortable place like the cabin, the little cabin across the street is now. But like everything else, it's a work in process. I do everything on a cash flow basis. I have the money, I work on it, then I accumulate more money and work on it again. And so far it's happening, maybe not at the speed of light, but it's definitely happening. In the meanwhile, I feel like I have my situation up here pretty well under control. So that's what's happening here. Another year, another winter. The winters are beautiful here, and paying for heat is just one of the things that you got to do. So I'm doing it, but I'm doing whatever I can to keep my costs down. I'm interested in hearing how you are managing heating costs. I know they are going up and up and up, and I'm just interested in hearing how you manage it too. So stay warm, stay cozy, and thank you so much for watching.